Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event, Deshaun versus Iilluminaughtii. This will be the third episode of the continuing saga, and hopefully the conclusion, because I'm actually tired of talking about her. What's up guys, it's me Deshaun, and this is the third episode of the Iilluminaughtii drama that we're covering on the channel, and she recently made an apology video. And to be honest, despite everything that I've said in my first and second video, I still stand by what I said. I do not fuck with her at all. And it's crazy because I tried to give her the benefit of the doubt, like, hey, maybe she had depression or maybe, she had anxiety or something. So I was like, dang, I understand that people can go through things like that and that sucks. So that could probably be a reason as to why she was reacting so crazy to everything that happened to her in the past, because exactly, we don't know what she's been through or anything along those lines. But turns out everything that I said should just get thrown out the window because she actually made fun of this other YouTuber, Tipster, for having bad mental health.
I also feel like I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself to deliver. For example, I have had a literal breakdown last night when I ran into tech issues while trying to stream. As fun as making videos is, all this pressure to do my best only contributes to even more stress. Tonight, I had the worst anxiety attack of my life. I didn't get much sleep last night due to staying up all night editing videos and further resolving the previously mentioned tech issues. I worked overtime at my daily job today, and work got so busy that I didn't get a chance to take lunch. During the drive home, I began to hyperventilate to the point that I had to pull over and get out of my car to breath. After a few minutes, I thought it was okay, so I got back into the car and proceeded to drive home. This process repeated 2 more times during the course of the entire drive home. As much as I love making videos, I feel like I am seriously putting too much pressure on myself to give you all my best. I feel like I am putting—
Now, if I'm gonna be the unfiltered human being that I am, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of funny. But at the end of the day, making fun of mental health is very fucked up. I want to clarify, it's not funny that he went through this, but the way she's reading it is pretty funny. But that's still fucked up to do. Like, somebody's going through something horrible, and you're going to take that situation, despite the amount of distress they might have had from it, and you're going to turn it into a laugh. Even though that's a common thing on the internet, the fact that she does this, I was originally going to give her the excuse like, hey, maybe she was depressed or had some mental health issues, so that's why she was being such a fucking freak on the internet. But all that is now out the window, so I don't know what kind of excuse I could possibly give her outside of her just being a piece of shit human being. So I want you guys to really take that into account, right? So everybody fucks up, right? Some people get depressed, they do some crazy things, or they get anxiety, they do some crazy things. But now that she's made fun of people with mental health issues, we can no longer give her that benefit of the doubt. So it's, in conclusion, she's just being a piece of shit because she's just a piece of shit. Sorry to put it bluntly, not sorry, but this is something that you should consider when you're giving somebody a platform. I'm not gonna lie, I like to be a douchebag, it's funny. I'm human, I like to make edgy jokes, but when it comes to slandering or making fun of the misfortune of others, I do feel like that is a line that you have to draw. Imagine if I were to make fun of another YouTuber like this. That is— wow, like, nah, bro. Look, I know everybody has their opinions, like, maybe some of you are like, this dude Tipster is having anxiety attack or panic attack, blah, 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 grown-ass man, what a bitch, blah, 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 blah. But for a second, let's all shut the fuck up and act like, hey, or maybe even pretend what it would be like to actually be a human being that isn't a asshole. So in this moment of me pretending of not being an asshole, I cannot side with Iilluminaughtii no matter which way I slice it. Iilluminaughtii, need to potty, Scotty too hottie. Ooh, benefit of the doubt, where are you? I can't find one. Where is the benefit, bro? Where is it, man? I just want to try and be on her side, but I can't. I can't where? Gee whiz, I sure hope her apology is good. Now, her apology is like 42 minutes long, and I'm not about to dig into every single last nook and cranny of this video, because I doubt y'all would want to watch that, and I don't feel like making a 40-minute long video. But to sum it up, she tackles every single bit of drama that has been, I guess, brought up to her. It's crazy to think all of this started off of her trying to accuse someone of stealing her edits, and now it's just like, shit just hit the fan, bro. To put it simply, with all that drama with Legal Eagle, she just apologized for it, and I guess, you know, she's getting off scotch-free with that.
Images that were brought to me, and I said, wow, that does look pretty similar, and I impulsively posted about it on Twitter. Truthfully, I should have looked into this more instead of just putting the information out there the second I had a gut reaction about it. I should have asked him what the emails were about, but I didn't, and I made a mistake, and plain and simple, I was wrong. So to Legal Eagle and team, I just want to reiterate that I messed up, and I'm sorry for any stress this may have caused you, and of course to your team.
After she apologizes to Legal Eagle, she actually, I guess, addresses about her plagiarizing content. People were all like, oh, well, she's kind of just taking this screenshot of what this dude is talking about on Twitter and not really addressing it, but she's just dancing around it, acting like she fucking cited the source, but she actually didn't. I'm not going to get into all that because at the end of the day, we all already know what type of person she is. Not personally, but how she likes to carry herself on the internet. And for someone who's hurt about talking about past things and that's why they didn't want to address them, she sure does carry this kind of like a, I don't really give a shit type of attitude. So I can't really take her seriously in this apology. Because quite frankly, I really don't feel like she cares. And I kind of feel like she's being really nitpicky, clinging on to the definition of plagiarism. And it's all like, oh, if we go by this definition and blah, 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 blah.
Based on the definition of the word plagiarism, his claims are simply false. Not only is the source quoted on screen, it's also cited in the...
Me personally, I don't think it makes a difference because it doesn't make her look like much better of a person, whether she plagiarized her videos or not. Oh, you cited your source. Oh, you make good content. Yay, yay. Still an asshole.
Sad Milk was a collaboration channel started by 6 friends in 2020. It was kind of essentially group Reddit readings and just looking at cringe things online and reacting to it. It was no big deal on the surface. This channel and this project was just meant to be something goofy, easy, and kind of cringy, but a shared channel that we could all get a kick out of. It was just supposed to be a bunch of friends hanging out, reacting to funny images, and just having a good time together. I mean, the channel name was literally called Sad Milk, so it wasn't really something that anyone was taking too seriously. And I did, and I ultimately bit off more than I could chew. It was a lot of work, if we're being honest, and I was beginning to burn out pretty quickly. Had I known how I would have been treated through this channel and afterwards, I never would have joined this project.
I'm actually cringing hearing about this. See, I don't know how you could talk about that. Like, you made the group, so I don't understand how you could, like, complain. Like, it's only that way because of your poor management, to be honest. Like, I don't mean to sound so blunt and rude about it, but that's what it really boils down to at the end of the day. Like, I never would have joined this group if did, but like, you're the one who made the group without planning prior, or didn't you? Or obviously, you didn't do enough planning prior if time zones were such an issue.
And I was the one who had set the schedules for recording too. The reality of the situation was this: with creators in different time zones, it was logistically pretty hard to get everyone together at one place in one time. We tried to do it organically multiple times, but unfortunately someone would always end up missing from the recordings.
Why would that not be the first thing that you think about? And then you say all this stuff about work. It just sounds like to me you took this fun group and took it way more seriously than you should have, and then you ended up getting burnt out, and then that was kind of your own fault.
Essentially, everyone in the group had 2 main responsibilities for Sad Milk. The first was that you had to show up to the scheduled recording, and the second was you had to pay your portion of the editor's fees as they arise. After the editors were paid, any earnings that were left in the channel were split into 6 equal pieces for each person. Since this was a project among friends, we all initially agreed to just split the earnings 6 ways, even though I was taking on some extra responsibilities.
You're supposed to split it 6 ways, even though you're taking on extra responsibilities with the group that you created. Now, after reading these texts that Iilluminaughtii puts on screen,
when it was time to pay the editors, I wasn't answered or told that they would just get it to me later. I had to do this at various points with a vast majority of the members of the group. They would eventually get around to reimbursing me only after I expressed in group meetings how I was upset that I have to do everything, and I also got stuck footing the bill too.
I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of feel bad for her. You laid out some basic rules as the leader and nobody is following them, so that must be frustrating. You put your trust in people thinking that they're responsible enough to run an organization with, and they just let you down. I definitely do empathize with that. Now, from everything that I'm seeing in this video, it just seems like she got very stressed out. I don't know if she's getting depressed or having anxiety and stuff like that. Again, this is the same stuff that I wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt of, because I do get that, and it seems like this is a case of that, because the way she was tweaking on her friends and how she wanted to have space and stuff like that. She was getting upset with them, getting burnt out, and was tired of managing everything by herself and was not really getting the fruits from the labor that she was putting into this project. And honestly, it is kind of sad. You know, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, but then I can't really do that when you kind of just made fun of somebody else for going through basically the same shit you were going through. So it's like, what do I even do here?
Oz Media and I had actually talked about how Click had been using the R slur while we played games together. I thought, or I wanted to assume, that I had misheard, but Oz said that he was uncomfortable with it and said something, but the language continued. Click, you are right. Those videos in question are old, and at this point, they're kind of irrelevant. People can learn and people can change. That being said, at the time in 2020, Click was still using horrifying language and slurs that have long been deemed unacceptable.
Now, based on all of this, there's a lot of edgy people on the internet, and I feel like Click and his fan base basically kind of fit right into that bracket, so I could see why this would be conflicting with Iilluminaughtii and her other friends that are a part of Sad Mill. My thing is, though, how was he a part of this group in the first place if he was so edgy? Like, did you not know the guy was this edgy? Now, me personally, I don't really care how people are. Like, they can be edgy, they can do whatever they want, but I do feel like at some point it does get annoying and people can do too much. Or some people could just be absolutely weird and mask everything they do as edginess or just joking when they're actually just some weird as fuck person on the internet.
A situation involving pedophilia. In Click's Discord, there was a 19-year-old bragging about a 12-year-old that he was claiming to be involved with. A moderator reached out to get more information on this situation. This 19-year-old then reiterates, and I am directly quoting this here, "I talked with my therapist about it, even too, and he told me as long as I don't touch her, it's okay." Click and his team did not pursue any immediate action to ban, restrict, or report this individual. So those shared mods came to me, and they told me that they were uncomfortable. So we used this individual's ID number, and we banned them from the Sad Milk server and from my server, and we reported them to Discord's trust and safety team, who we hope did pursue this further. Then I went to contact Click to see what was going on, and it was mainly because I didn't want to believe that he would blow off someone clearly discussing such an inappropriate relationship. In fact, this was right off the heels of one of his admins sharing pornographic content to people that they knew were minors. One thing that I would like to point out here is how these users were pushing pornographic materials to a minor who explicitly states that their parent is in the room with them, so they were hiding their phone.
All this stuff in Click's Discord, I'm not gonna lie, Iilluminaughtii is holding it down because she does have receipts. So this he said, she said debate or argument or whatever you want to call it to rest. But to be honest, all I'm really getting from this is that Click is kind of edgy and his fan base is even edgier. And obviously what comes with that, there are a lot of bad apples and degenerates. Like, if you're sitting here making YouTube videos for Redditors, when you get some weird ass dudes in your Discord posting pornography or being on some CP energy, I can't, like, it's fucking horrible. Don't get me wrong. But what do you guys expect when you're dealing with people from Reddit? Outside of being dumb and very emotional in certain moments, I can't really say Iilluminaughtii is really in the wrong that much when it comes to a lot of the things that she was doing. Granted, she might be justified to carry herself in this way and handle these situations in the way that she did, but she could have also just handled things a lot better. I just think it's so weird that they're friends with Click and he's edgy as fuck. But it seems as though Iilluminaughtii is also pretty edgy based on her making jokes about Tipster. And I kind of feel like it's not fair to put all of this on Click because he has some weirdos in his fan base. Granted, him and his mods might not have taken immediate action, but all these people do have lives as well. So he might not even have noticed that people were doing this in his Discord. Because when you have a fan base that large, I would assume that it would be extremely hard to keep tabs on everyone. I have a Discord of like 100 and some odd people, and even then that's kind of hard to keep tabs of because I have a life outside of YouTube. Now, if there's one thing that doesn't really sit well with me is the fact that she's talking about how Click was harboring an environment in his Discord for all these people to gather, but it's like this, right? Why are you just now, you knew all of this stuff happened, but why are you just now bringing it up in a video that's about you and your drama? If you genuinely cared, you would have talked about this sooner and not in a video about you and your credibility and something that's ultimately about you. It just feels like you're trying to make the Click look bad to upstage yourself. Because if you were really worried about these kids, you would have spoke up about this way sooner than an exposed video about yourself. So at least to me, I don't know if I'm overthinking. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys think I'm overthinking this? Or do you agree with me? Because it feels very disingenuous. Now, a lot of this video right now is about her dealing with wage theft with this dude named Wonder. There's not really much I could really add on to the table because, again, this is kind of just he said, she said. I don't know what I could bring to the table with this one. And she's also talking about, I guess, how she bought Wonder a car and they had some sort of agreement. Basically, just some business stuff. And I don't think you guys really care too much about that. If you want details on that, go ahead and watch her video. Yeah, and then she also talks about the mental health of Wonder. And yeah, I don't want to get into all that.
Wonder, I am sorry that I was ever friends with you. My short involvement in your life clearly caused you so much harm and emotional distress, and I never want that for any of my friends, past or present. And for that, I again want to apologize. I hope you find peace.
But I will say I don't know how I feel about this backhanded apology, but to be honest, I can't really say that I'm surprised at this point. I'm not gonna lie, this part with Oz is kind of gonna make me leak, bro. But yeah.
A lot of really intense and personal situations in my life. You were there throughout the entire process of my mom's cancer diagnosis, her various treatments, and hospitalizations. And I know there were many times when I had to run out the door suddenly because there was a crash cart in her room and they didn't know if she was going to make it. And you said you'd stay at the house and watch Casper so I could go to my mom. You were there for Casper's various hospitalizations when he would get sick throughout the years, and you helped me through a very difficult surgery recovery. I just want to say thank you for always being my support through all of my ups and downs. I know that a lot of these personal situations in my life left me very thin and sometimes irritable, and I want to say thank you for supporting me through it and talking me through some really hard times. Your support and your friendship meant more to me than I think you'll probably ever know. I'm gonna miss all the fun things we used to do, eating way too much cheese at the melting pot. I'll miss you teaching.
I don't really like hearing people cry or anything like that, so in conclusion, she might be a douchebag. Iilluminaughtii might make a lot of mistakes. Shit, even I make a lot of mistakes. I'm sure you as the viewer also makes a lot of mistakes. And at times we can all be edgy, whether it be making fun of mental health or making fun of anything that we think is messed up on the internet. You know, round 3 with Iilluminaughtii, I thought I was gonna get a TKO. But now all I can really say is I just feel bad about everything. Because I know how a lot of these people can be on the internet. And I do understand how delicate people can be when it comes to their emotions. I might make some funny jokes, but I will never actually genuinely hate somebody unless there's a good reason to. But this situation really just sounds like a really big misunderstanding and sad clusterfuck of a bunch of different personalities and their egos clashing. And with that, I don't think Iilluminaughtii should lose her platform, but I do feel like at the end of the day, we should try and remember that all content creators are human, and that comes with pros and cons. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect, and Iilluminaughtii isn't perfect either. She's done some fucked up things, and I do feel like obviously some repercussions are gonna come from that, whether it be losing friends, connections with other content creators, and, you know, obviously burning bridges. But I don't feel like she should lose her YouTube channel for just being a little bit bitchy, you know? But on the other end of the spectrum, she did post Wonder's suicide note, and I can't help but feel like maybe she should lose it, you know? What do you guys think? Do you think I'm being a little easy on Illuminaughtii? Do you think I'm, being too hard? Let me know in the comment section below. Round 3. Hopefully this will be the last round of this drama. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that, I'm out.